We have 9.1.2. Includes a few balance adjustments for combat abilities and item sets, along with various fixes for quests, UI, housing, and other base game content. We've also added a new option to preview furnishing placements directly from the housing editor and are testing the Witches Festival. And now we are on PC EU, so make sure if you're doing any tests on the PTS, you get those new characters made, because it will be reset. All right. Maze fix win. Yeah. Furnishing preview placement. There's now a preview placement option available when previewing homes from the purchase tab of the housing editor, so you can see exactly what a new furnishing will look like in your home. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. They have testing for the Witches Festival if you want to get in there and look at all that stuff. All right, combat and abilities. Fix an issue where the final hit of channeled heavy attacks were not considered channeled attacks, despite totally being channeled attacks. Hey, that's nice. That's very nice, actually, because this one was very strange, because you kind of had to, like, not fully benefit from your champion points that you wanted to allocate, or whatever bonuses, like if you're trying to use, like, Deadly Strike, or you know, you're really trying to go all into this particular thing. It gets split up because of the different types. But yeah, that's a very good change. Yeah, that's very welcome change. Cool. So just because it's the last tick doesn't mean it is direct anymore. Yeah, I agree. That's nice. Thanks, Law. Offsetting a heavy attack nurse. I mean, for AoE, from my understanding, Mogulum, for AoE, the lightning heavy builds definitely took a big hit because of the passives that were changed. But I think for single target, it's probably pretty similar, if not even a little better. I don't know. I need to mess with it some still. I just got back in town, so yeah, it'll add a little bit back to single, but AoE, yeah, it's going to be down a bit for lightning heavies. But yeah, this is a good change. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. Fate Carver. Fix an issue where this ability and its morphs could fail to return as a channeled or damage over time effect in some cases. Okay, that's good. Nightblade. Veiled Strike. Surprise. I don't know what I was doing there. Trouble finding my letters. Surprise attack. Reduce the cooldown of the guaranteed crit strike to 3 seconds, down from 4. Okay, that's nice. A little bit quicker for your guaranteed crits. Concealed weapon. This morph now grants major berserk for 7 to 10 seconds based on rank, rather than a unique 7 to 10% damage done. Okay. Let's see what they said. We've been relatively happy with how these morphs have enabled melee-centric Nightblades, but we're seeing a lot of behaviors where Concealed is being used more passively than we'd like, rather than targeting the duration at this point. We're moving forward with changing the bonus to a named buff rather than a unique one to try and rein in the upper bounds of the morph. Still be keeping a close eye. Please continue to discuss. In addition to these adjustments, we're also trying to hit on some of the feedback we've seen where Surprise Attack feels weaker than Concealed in too many areas. So we're conservatively buffing up the damage potential as we find a stable spot for Concealed. Yeah, I mean, I think this is an okay way about going about this. Is this the long-term landing spot for this skill? Maybe not, but I like the subtle adjustments at least better than the like sledgehammer changes and then we'll see if that works kind of mentality. You know, let's just change it a little bit. We'll change this to a named buff, which in most cases will still be worth the same. But if you already had Major Berserk going, then it's going to be a nerf, obviously. And then a little bit of a buff up for surprise attack. I mean, I think for most cases these are still going to be used pretty much the same. Like, I think for PvE, Major Berserk is still highly desirable. Maybe in really, really organized situations where people are organizing Atros with someone with Yorvolds hitting it and like staggering them out and stuff like that, you know, maybe it takes a pretty nice hit there. But I think for most people, for most situations, this is not going to be much different. So yeah, we'll see. I think surprise attack is at least worth testing on a Stamblade, and maybe a Stamblade using surprise attack with like a coordinated group with Major Berserk going could be kind of nice. So like this is like the really coordinated version. This is the like less coordinated group version to use. I could see something like that, maybe. Yeah, I still really don't like how this is triggered. I think it's a little weird, but we'll see. We'll see where that ends up with some tweaks to it. Again, I do like that they're kind of like nudging it instead of just another like really massive change to it. And maybe we can just keep nudging it until we get to the right spot with it. But yeah. Sorcerer, Stormcalling. Overload picks an issue where this ultimate and its morphs, light and heavy attacks, did not properly interact with bound armament stacking behavior. Light attacks always grant 1 stack, and heavy attack will now always grant 1 stack every tick. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty fun for heavy attack Sorc using Overload. Just cranking out the bound armaments. That could be pretty fun, actually. Yeah, I like that change. Because regular heavy attacks are 2 ticks? Or 2 stacks of bound armaments, and then light attacks are 1. I think it's the same with Grim Focus. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. Alright, Destruction Staff. We got... Oh, we have some changes here. Okay. What's up, Hangry Wanderer? Alright, Ancient Knowledge. Based on player feedback, we've readjusted the bonuses granted for these staff types to fit more into their theme, while moving to be more generic amplifications, so more builds can easily derive meaningful power without intense specialization. Oh, okay. I didn't even get to test the Inferno stave, so I don't... that's one thing I wanted to do today, is test the status effect thing. Okay, so that is out the window now. Don't have to worry about messing with that. But now it's Inferno staves increase your damage done with damage over time effects by 12%. Okay, so this is what... Ooh. Weren't lightning staves getting damage over time and channeled before? Keep reading. Yeah, I know. I see what lightning staves are doing. I'm taking it all in. Huh. I don't know about the... Huh. Direct damage and channeled. It just seems way better to me. Like, lightning staves just seem way better than Inferno. I don't know. This is weird to me. Let me read what they said about it. Hey, Tyrion. We've been keeping a close eye on this passive since it received larger changes comparatively to other weapon passives. We originally set out to create bonuses that would help make each staff type unique compared to other weapon bonuses. But much of the feedback we've seen focused on how the adjustments felt disjointed from typical play patterns and elemental fantasies these weapons focus on, while being a bit niche, mainly Inferno staff. Yeah, I could see that. Although status effects are generally a decent sized chunk of most builds, with some just heavily relying on them and others not as much. So I didn't think that was too niche, but yeah, I could see a bit for the high end for the way they had Inferno stave set up. As such, we simplified the bonus while focusing more on the elemental types main fantasies. Inferno staves will focus on enhancing your damage over time effects to burn your foes to cinders, while lightning staves focus on amping up your burst and channeled damage to zap enemies to dust. It's our hope that these bonuses are less restrictive in their effects, so more builds can meaningfully interact with them while feeling like they still have some uniqueness and build opportunities to min-max around without the niche interactions we imposed with our first pass. I am okay with the idea there. I just feel like lightning staves severely outclass Inferno as a front bar option, though, because they get to kind of double dip. I mean, it depends, right? I guess. Not even classes with a high percentage of thaumaturge, it's generally not like crazy high. Whereas a lot of classes with these or a lot of setups, I should say, not classes, that use these will end up with a very high percentage of that damage. I feel like this maybe needs a second thing to go with it as well. Like, this gets direct damage and channeled. Maybe this should get damage over time and something, right? Trip was awesome, Tyrion. Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing. Shima with the 21 months. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Inferno will still buff stuff like Rally and Pillar. Yeah, it will. I mean, it's not bad. I just don't see Inferno being any better than it was, really. I mean, maybe it will be good for some different situations, like front bar Inferno now is like pretty decent for AoE stuff if you have a lot of dots rolling. Whereas before it was just really good for single target ranged. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I see a lot of situations where I'm like, oh, lightning sounds amazing. But I don't, like, in my head, I'm not seeing a lot of situations where I feel like Inferno sounds amazing. Dual wields might still be strong. Yeah, probably. Hopefully. I would think dual wield should be stronger than lightning, considering you're forced melee and this is a ranged thing. But yeah, like lightning's gonna be pretty nuts on Arcanist. It's gonna boost all their direct damage plus their beam. Inferno wall stronger. Yeah, but that would be for a back bar weapon. That's not really what we're talking about now. Because these bonuses don't really matter much on your back bar, since you spend so little time there. This is more when considering front bar options. Yeah, for back bar, yeah, flame wall just hits harder. Inferno staff ulting trash. So 12% to that and all your other dots. Versus your dual wield stats. Maybe with like acuity or something. I mean, it'll be good. I just don't know if it's going to outclass dual wield still. Front bar Inferno, back bar Resto on a DK PvP. You like to think of it as fire buffing dots, lightning buffing spammables. So what's the spammable versus dot mix of various classes? Yeah, it's not just spammables though, because there's a lot of direct damage that comes from other stuff too. Like most dots have an upfront hit that's also direct. A lot of status effect hits count as direct, like your non-bleed, poison, or burn ones. Your light attacks. So it's not just spammables with the lightning staves. They're getting a lot of little things that add up there alongside the channeled stuff. Blazing Spear can be a spam with lightning. Yeah. I mean, it already could, because lightning boosted the AoE stuff before. I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I'm not really seeing how this is an improvement over the previous iteration.
Try hard.
I'm trying. Maybe not hard enough. Thank you, Payne, for the 6 months. Hope you're doing all right. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Like before, Inferno staves were single target damage. Now they're damage over time. Before, lightning staves were AoE, and now they're direct and channeled. I guess I'm not really following like the why on that. Like, what's... How does this really improve how they're used? I mean, granted, the bonuses are a little higher, right? I guess at 12%. But they could have just been a little higher with what they were before. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm following like the intent here. So, I mean, lightning staves for Templar and Arcanist. If you're going to go ranged, it's kind of the obvious choice. Because they have the channeled stuff. I don't know. Maybe Inferno on... Like, who has a lot of... I mean, I know some classes have decent dots, but like even Dragonite, I think is more... Yeah, Thalm and Master at Arms are pretty close together on Dragonite. And that's like what we would normally consider a pretty dot heavy class. You know, maybe it'd be okay on Necro. Definitely not Nightblade, or Sork. And then Warden is also pretty close to even with Master at Arms and Thalm. Yeah, I just don't see... I can't take me seriously with that. What's up, Ninja? Lightning Stave, sure. I think this is pretty strong. I think it works for a lot of classes. A lot of classes have high direct damage, and then some have high direct and channeled together, and it's going to especially be good on that. But I just don't see a ton of places I'm super excited about Inferno stuff. I wouldn't mind if it had like damage over time and then some other like more niche thing. Like this has direct, which is obviously a very common damage type. This has damage over time, which is a very common damage type. But then this has channeled also, which is not as common, but for classes that use it, it's really big. Inferno doesn't really have that like second part to it like Lightning does. So it's kind of just like, all right, we just get this. And that's just not, doesn't feel good enough by itself. In the classes I play, like, yeah, I don't know. Just use the bow. Like, yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it with Inferno staves, but you know, maybe I need to think about it more. But I'm not really seeing this being great on too many setups. Someone mentioned Destro ult on Trash. Yeah, but it would be pretty good then. But even then, like, you're still casting a spammable in Trash while the Destro ult is going. That's not getting boosted. Whereas if you just use dual wield or something, it would just boost all your damage. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the lightning staff thing. I think that's pretty cool. I feel like Inferno needs a smidge more. I mean, hell, even damage over time and initial hit of status effects or something. Like, you could put those together, maybe? Maybe not 500, but something. I don't know. Yeah. My initial takeaway is that Inferno probably needs a little bit more, or Lightning is just going to be used way more as a front bar option. I still think dual wield is probably, for most setups, the strongest front bar option. Lightning could be pretty nice though, if you're going ranged. 5-piece rune carver bonus should be the Inferno staff bonus. Okay, that'd be spicy. Okay, let's go ahead and move on though. I think I kind of dug into that all I can mentally right now without seeing it in action. Weakness to elements. Elemental susceptibility fix an issue where the concussed and chilled status effects applied from this morph could be treated as damage over time in some cases, and could fail to interact with sets such as Baron Zadris. Oh, that's nice. I like this in some niche scenarios. I've done some like kind of off meta DPS setups with this, particularly using barriers, and it can be pretty fun. So a little buff there for that, using elemental susceptibility. Arena weapons, merciless charge. This set now increases your damage done with direct damage attacks by 9.3% of your weapon or spell damage, up to a maximum of 560, rather than increasing your damage done with all two-handed attacks by That's not good at all. That's really, really bad. This is really, really bad. 560 is way too low. If it only buffs direct damage. That's way too low. You can only do direct damage so often, is the problem. It's a flat damage, yeah. Yeah, like if you compare it to Crushing Wall, you get 1250 here every second. So you'd have to have over 2 direct damage attacks every second to match the Maelstrom staff. I mean, if you have a lot of status effects damage going that counts as direct, it could be good for that. You know, like Sorcerer proccing concussed a lot. Nightblades have the debilitate ability that keeps the magic status effect going there. So that'll be proccing quite a bit. So 560 is the max. Okay, so how do we hit the max here? 9.3%. So 6,000 weapon and spell damage. Yeah, basically 6K, yeah. Yeah, I got Mr. Floyd here. Mr. Floyd, he's chilling. Light attacks too? Yes, it will. Yeah. It's better than the old two-handed vMA. It's definitely better than that one. It's definitely better than that. I think it's okay. I think some setups it'll be pretty good on. I know, he's so cute, right? He loves chilling up here with me. All right, let's see what they have to say. Our first pass with this set was meant to grant a reward mechanism that was more impactful and less buggy than its current damage over time effect seen on the live servers. We tried finding a bonus that was less generic and more interactive, with some build opportunities and synergy where you could use it passively on your back bar or dig in and carve through your foes on your front bar too. Unfortunately, the first pass created situations where the reward incentivized you to often replace your existing skills with more two-handed skills rather than just help you use it as a front bar enabler. We adjusted the bonus to be slightly more generic. This bonus continues to synergize with the ability that activates the bonus, as well as a vast majority of the two-handed skill line itself, retaining your ability to go all in with build crafting while opening up what skills you slot to diversify. So 560 for every piece of direct damage. So if I think it's decent. I think it's decent. I started off saying it sucks, but hey, that's how these live reactions go, right? You gotta think through it a little bit. I think, because let's think about it. Let's take Dragonite, for example. You automatically get one of these every second with your light attack that you're weaving, right? So, you know, comparing it to the Maelstrom Inferno, that gives you 1250 instead of 560, because you get that every 1 second as well with your wall. And that ticks every second. So, just your light attack weaving alone, you get the 560. So, when you use Stampede, the upfront hit will essentially, you'll have 2 of those going. When you use Carve, you'll have 2 of that. When you use Venomous Claw, 2 of those. When you use Noxious Breath, 2 of those. Because those all have upfront hits to them. When you use your Whip, you're going to hit with 2 of those. Then, at the same time, on top of all that, any status effects that you're proccing that count as direct damage, so like Sundered, or Concussed, or Overcharged. Wait, is that what it's called? What's the magic one? Been away too long. Pretty much everything except for Bleed, Poison, and Flame. All of those status effects count as direct. So if one of those happens to proc within that second, you're now at a higher amount than what the Maelstrom staff would offer. So it seems like some seconds that you cast things, it's going to be doing less than a Maelstrom Staff would do in that second, and then other seconds, you'd be getting more from this than you would with the Maelstrom Staff. But, like some of you have been pointing out in chat, spammables such as jabs or flurry that hit more than once in a second, this could be very nice with those. Because you're going to get your light attack weave and your boost to each tick of those. Because those do count as direct damage. It seems pretty good. All right, I take back my initial reaction. Yeah. Hey, this is why I wait before I send feedback. So. You gotta sit on it. Exactly. Yeah. I think it's just natural. Like when you see something in the initial moment you see it, like rarely are you going to be able to fully wrap your head around what it means. So yeah, I think that's fine. Now, if somebody clips me saying it's bad and shares that, that's going to be something else, but yeah, I think this is decent. I think it was a little weird the way it worked before. And I saw some really high parses with it, but it felt like kind of like what they're saying. You really were just all in on two-handed abilities. Team Plasma, thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Arcanist Beam is not direct. It is not direct, no. Arcanist Beam is damage over time. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Is that the last thing here? I think we just have some bug fixes after this. Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty good with this stuff. Yeah, overall, I think just to kind of summarize, they fixed channeled attacks, so lightning and resto, channeled heavies. So now every tick will count as damage over time. Or channel, which should count as damage over time. Right now they're counting as direct damage on the final hits, which always was a little weird because then you had to like your champion points that you wanted to allocate didn't fully boost it, and is in this weird kind of like mismatched place. So good change there. I think okay change to Nightblades. I don't really think it's going to really... For most people, I don't think it's going to have that big of an impact. Major Berserk is still really nice to have. And most people are not getting super high up times on this anyways. And then if you are one of the people using Surprise Attack, you got a little buff there. So nothing major, but I think it's alright. And then Overload now stacks up Bound Armaments. properly. 1 stack per light attack, 1 stack per every tick of heavies. Destro Staff, Inferno staves are now 12% to damage over time. Lightning staves are now 12% to direct damage and channeled effects. I think Lightning Staff got the better end of the deal here by a decent bit. I'd like to see maybe Inferno get another little side thing the way that Lightning did. Lightning gets direct and channeled, so like major damage type, more niche damage type. I'd like to see Inferno maybe get major damage type and a more niche damage type to go along beside it. Fix to elemental susceptibility and the way that status effects were treated as damage types, so that's good. Mega Hound Doom, thank you very much for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. And then Merciless Charge. This should be, the vMA two-hander should be a good bit better now going into next patch than it is on live. Just light attack and direct damage from your ability alone is 1120, 560 times 2. So any kind of direct damage status effects proccing, or like with DKs, you have your Flames of Oblivion also shooting every 5 seconds. If you have a spammable that does more than 1 direct damage hit in a second, like Flurry or Jabs. It seems like there's a lot of situations where this could be hitting 3 ticks per second in many of your seconds in combat. Probably not all of your seconds in combat, but at least like a decent amount, which makes it a very, very good option as a Bagbar weapon. So I like this here. Yeah, and that's it for week 3 changes. Not too shabby. Not too shabby.